Demons and evil spirits are so terrified of his fearsome appearance that they dare not enter a house if his image is hung at the door. Well, today we come to the final part in the fascinating story of Zhong Kui, Demon Slayer.
The name of Zhong Kui the Demon Slayer may, it is thought, have originated from a big stick wielded by sorcerers in ancient China. In the Sung dynasty, he was portrayed as a Confucian scholar who became a tragic hero. Then, from a poor scholar who enjoyed widespread sympathy, the legendary Zhong Kui was transformed into a deity and a demon eater, who was both worshipped and rebuked. He was at the same time an official, wielding justice on behalf of the ordinary people, and a Taoist celestial master possessed of magic powers. Holding a purse, he is the patron god of businessmen. Carrying a baby in his arms, he is the god of pregnancy. For thousands of years, Zhong Kui has been a part of the life of ordinary people. But what magical powers did people ascribe to him, and how did he emerge as the most important among all, the ancient gods? So, what was it about Zhong Kui that allowed him to supersede his predecessors and so quickly become the leading demon slayer? Much is revealed in the folktales of the Sung dynasty. First of all, people identified him as a poor, humble scholar, as a real person living in the real world. Zhong Kui was a typical civilian intellectual who dreamed of passing the imperial examinations and becoming a pillar of society. The legend relates that he was just one step away from realizing his dream when his seemingly bright future was wrecked on the whim of the emperor. Throughout ancient times, intellectuals would identify with Zhong Kui and the injustice meted out to him. This has become a common theme in the folklore surrounding Zhong Kui since the Sung dynasty. For people today, it is unthinkable that one might be deprived of the opportunity of becoming an official merely because of one's hideous appearance. But could such injustice once have been practiced? In the Tang dynasty, it was not uncommon to judge a person by their appearance. Whether someone was good-looking or not could well affect their official career. According to the old history of Tang, passing the examinations was only the basic requirement in becoming an official. A further 4 criteria were dictated by the Ministry of Official Personal Affairs. They were a common-sense approach to dealing with affairs, a good calligraphic style, a good public speaking ability, and finally, a well-proportioned body with a good appearance. In other words, the opportunity to become an official could well be lost by someone with a hideous appearance. The Temple of Na is one of just a handful of temples in China dedicated to Zhong Kui. It's said to have been built originally during the Tang and Sung dynasties and to have gone through several reconstructions and renovations until the present day. However, the statue of Zhong Kui inside the temple is unusual. Rather than wielding a weapon with menace, this Zhong Kui is a high-ranking court official. Outside the temple, an opera called Official Zhong Kui Settling a Lawsuit is often performed. In this setting, Zhong Kui has another honorific title, Pan Guan. Then how had Zheng Kui become a Pangguan? Legend has it that the heavenly Jade Emperor, supreme ruler of the gods, heard about the injustice suffered by Zheng Kui. Impressed by his unyielding spirit, the heavenly Jade Emperor gave orders that Zheng Kui should receive special treatment. So instead of being sent straight down to the netherworld and being tortured like the other dead, Zheng Kui was appointed Pangguan of both the earthly world and the netherworld. Yan Wang, ruler of the netherworld, greeted him very respectfully. Thus, Zheng Kui, with the injustice done to him redressed after his death, was made a Pangguan by the Jade Emperor himself. But Pangguan was not an official rank. Still, at the imperial court of the northern Sung dynasty, a Pangguan wielded a great deal of power. He served as the assistant to the chancellor of the treasury, who was just below the prime minister in rank. Someone chosen as Pangguan would have to be virtuous and incorruptible. Bao Zheng, famed in the northern Sung dynasty as an upright official, was once a Pangguan. In Pingsheng Township, Zheng Kui and Bao Zheng tend to be treated as the same person. They had much in common. Both were impartial and incorruptible officials. It is interesting that Zheng Kui, Pangguan of the netherworld, seems to have enjoyed more power in that he could travel freely between the two worlds to dispense the justice of heaven. With the book of life and death always at hand, he had the power to punish mischievous spirits by crossing off their names from the book and beating them to death with his steel mace. A survey of the early development of Zheng Kui's image reveals a person with two distinct sides. On the one hand, he appeared as a traditional, cultured scholar. On the other, he was a fun-loving god.
Oriton Real Wood Floorboard. Real natural touch. Oriton.
CCTV 9, China's only English-language news channel, broadcasts throughout China and across the globe. CTV Golden Bridge is CCTV International's exclusive advertising agent and can put your company in touch with an audience of millions.
The strange thing is, despite appearing in works of art and tales spanning many dynasties, Zheng Kui never got any mention in official historical records. Now, you would have thought that such an undeniably influential figure merited some imperial title or a temple in his honor, but no. Then again, this lack of official recognition may have been a factor in the flourishing folklore surrounding him.
But Zheng Kui was associated with even the most mundane aspects of people's life. The sketchbook of Dream Brook, written by Shun Kwa of the Northern Sung Dynasty, mentions a mousetrap with the Zheng Kui design. It was a wooden carved Zheng Kui, 2 or 3 chi in height, with an iron trap on the right side and bait on the left. When a mouse eats the bait, it will be gripped by the left side and killed by the iron trap on the right. This was very like the way a modern mousetrap works. For all practical reasons, basing the design on Zheng Kui seems unnecessary. The only explanation seems to be Zheng Kui's power to intimidate. A man capable of getting rid of ghosts could have no trouble with mice. So the idea behind the wooden carving of the mousetrap would have been to frighten the mice. A more common practice that played on Zheng Kui's power to intimidate was that of hanging his portrait at the entrances to homes. Commonly, a portrait would be posted on a main door, from where he could ward off ghosts. But in some houses, his image would also be seen inside, on the wall separating a courtyard from the main chamber. Demons, according to the traditional belief, could only walk along a straight line. So even if a ghost accidentally slipped into the house, the Zheng Kui on the screen wall facing the gate would catch it at once. Another reason for posting the painting here was for the sake of convenience in offering sacrifices. People wanted to be protected by him, so on important occasions they would offer sacrifices and burn joss sticks before his image. Over time, despite the fact that Zheng Kui was such a deeply revered god, people saw his image so often that they would consider him as one of the family. So if Zheng Kui the door god was ever neglectful of his duty, the master of the house would probably scold him, or even curse him. The Yuan Dynasty musical drama, A Ghost in the Pot, describes the special relationship between humans and gods. Yang Guoyang, a small businessman in Bianliang City, is murdered, and his ashes are mixed with soil and placed in a pot. Old man Zhang is given the pot, but immediately the unjustly killed businessman begins haunting him. Zhang is terrified and blames the haunting on his door god, Zheng Kui, who is supposed to keep the house safe from ghosts. So Zhang shouts abuse at him. "How dare you let ghosts slip into my house? What use are you anyway?" The lyrics go on. "In the new year, I posted you on the door and made offerings to you. I expected you to drive away evil spirits. Your face inspires such awe, yet as a door god, you fall asleep instead of guarding my house. What's the use of you and your peach wood charms? I should tear your picture into pieces." Such vocal criticism suggests that by the Yuan dynasty, people had lost much of their reverence for Zheng Kui. Why then has Zheng Kui been worshipped as a god until now? There are those who suggest there is a link with Taoism. They point to the clues revealed in the special weapon he often carried. Zhong Kui is most often depicted carrying a steel mace and a golden stick, but he is also sometimes seen with a sword. In the Dance of Na, Zhong Kui's weapon is a big wooden stick, similar to those used by ancient sorcerers. As a Pangguan, he would carry a steel mace or golden stick. According to legend, both are capable of inflicting death with a single blow. The two weapons are perfectly suited to the image of Zhong Kui, the demon slayer. A sword, by comparison, is a simpler, lighter weapon, more appropriate for a civil official. So why would Zhong Kui be given such an ordinary weapon?